Hey everybody, Steven here playing Subnautica Below Zero. Wanted to showcase some of the major changes that actually happened today with the Crystal Caverns, but also the lily pad area here. So they're constantly tweaking this stuff, and a lot of times with this they're adding little nooks and crannies like this to everything that are just giving it a more natural look to it than just being kind of flat, and definitely that Subnautica like vibe that it has from the first game. So this is actually new here, and like I said, it's all just little things, little hiding places, little nooks and crannies that you can go into. I don't have the fog or the water volume on right now. The other thing that they've added too is just a ton of these lily pads now, right, which look incredible versus when they just had a couple. We got a good amount now. Like, I'm wondering if they'll hide some stuff here amongst all of this as well. But as you can see, like, there are a lot of these things now. Maybe even, I don't know if that's tweaked or not. I think the little ones off that are actually tweaked also. That looks very cool. Let's turn the water volume back on really quick. See the difference. That looks awesome when you're in areas like this and you can see a bunch of them, right? They've also tweaked the entryway to one of Marg's bases here in the inside of this little island thing. So we got a tweak there. Like I said, it's all these little tweaks that are just making everything look much better. Take that back off. How they're ending the area too, like this, versus it just being like a quick drop off. So it looks like it's kind of getting into the final stages here, and then when we're having it like blend from one area to another. But the bigger thing is going down into the Crystal Caverns here. So biggest thing, and I'll just start here, the texture change. So what they really added was the texture to the ground itself. So you can see that that's different. Let's add this water volume back on. And then the red effect that they had kind of pulled out. Let's see how it changes. Yeah, I'll go from that, boom, to the red. So they had pulled that out, and now they had added it back in. So more crystals as well. And as always, creepy moments like this where you get to see the shadow leviathan. I think it's wicked looking. Coming back in here, and they've just filled all of this out now, right? So this is our other entry point over here. And as we're coming through, tons of crystals, right? So it's not so barren anymore. Like, that looks awesome. And now, because of this, it's a much tighter space, which is what you kind of picked up on the artwork that they had put out there for the concept art, I guess, for all of this. And this is more what I had envisioned, and it's cool just to see it slowly coming together. Same thing, more little nooks and crannies and little areas to go into, and this is interesting for me, just these little areas right here, just because they're areas to hide from the shadow leviathan. Ooh, and I was able to get my sea truck in there before. Is that still yeah, possibly right here. We'll go down. They changed this actually also, not so much on this side because we still have, and I think they're going to build this out. Take the fog off for a second. I don't know, because this is all, this area over here is just like remnant from the previous part of it, but I don't know. I think this will connect down and you'll have another. I'm thinking it's going to be a precursor base, but we'll see. Not 100% sure on that. We go back up, and then coming out, they've actually tweaked this tunnel. They've made it much tighter. And come out, and then we're over by that other shadow leviathan there. But it is coming together nicely. And we got these areas too where they're just, the craters are pulled low, so they're just tight spaces. Like I said, textures on the ground, so the ground itself has changed, and it looks like the beginning stages of what they're going to build out here. Really cool to see. Just the shelf rocks and all of that as well. Let's take that fog off for a second. So let's wander around without all the stuff there. So more crystals. But you can see, I mean, it just looks completely different. It's awesome. It's really cool just to see how big of a change just adding in that texture changed this. And because they've changed the layout, they've made it such a tight space now. It'll be interesting to navigate through all of this in game. That's cool. Like I said, little hiding areas where we move around. Hopefully not get attacked by that guy. Let's go back to daytime on that. Oops. And then, ooh, floating rocks. And then it'll go down here to that next section, so they kind of have their exit right there. We'll go back to, let's see. I like that blue right there. Like the beginning formations or whatever of crystals. That's what it looks like. Curious to see what they put down here that you're going to need resource-wise as well. Tight spots here. Like I said, I don't know if we're going to be able to get through that. And then that guy right there. Changed all of this stuff now. That just looks crazy. From the, and then we pop out here. But going from the previous versions to this where it's like, oh, alright, that's a tight fit, which reminds me of going into the Lost River in the first game and all the other areas where you had those tight spaces you had to kind of navigate through. That is awesome. Curious, trying to literally like sneak past this guy in game. I like that. I like those large crystals. Super cool looking. Let's turn that fog back on. Ooh, go outside of it. That is a lot of crystals. Alright. Very cool. Well, if you do the experimental build, you guys have access to all this as well. So if you opt into that on the Steam game file, if you go into the properties, you can actually do all this stuff yourself as well. But this is the Crystal Caverns. I know they'll be adding more and more just over the next couple weeks, so I'm super excited to see how this just shapes up. Just this last week has been such a huge change. Very curious to see how it goes. I don't think these will glow. I think there'll be maybe a slight effect to it, but it'd be really cool if they did. Or had something. At a distance they kind of do, but... Oh, there's that guy. The lighting effect makes a huge difference in this room, because it's not... Before it was just dark. Now it's got that reddish hue to it, but... Reddish pinkish hue, so they might just leave it like that, but... we shall see. So that is it, guys. If you liked the video, hit the like button for me. If you want to continue to follow along with all of my content, hit the subscribe button for me. And thank you so much for watching.